Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Reggae of Yourself podcast with me, your host, the Fuchaman, and people. We got one of the greatest band going around in UK and Europe for many, many years for you guys. Laid Blak, good evening, Bungie and Mr. Joepeng, Wagwan.
Peace and love.
Greetings. Welcome to the Reggae of Yourself podcast again. We guys catch up like years ago, and now it's time to see what you guys been up to since then. So how you guys been coping with the lockdown?
Coping, that's it.
You coping?
We've been coping.
And how?
How?
Yeah.
Well, me, I like to punch him up sometimes, you know. When I get to punch him up, it make everything a little more easier for me.
I'm not sure if that's coping or bullying.
No,
thank you.
He don't get bullied. He's from Noel West. My man can't get bullied. Punching. It's all good, man. Same as everyone else, you know, locking down with family. My man got a beautiful little boy now that he's, luckily for him, how old is he, 2?
4?
Jesus.
He's been
4. But one thing for him, mine's grown. But for him,
Yeah.
I know for a fact it's giving you a lot more time and allowed you to focus on. Otherwise, man's out just running left, right, and center. He's one of the hardest workers going. So
Yeah.
I feel for him, it's been a blessing, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for true. So you guys been making new music in the lockdown or no?
Yeah, lots of new music. I'm finishing off some old stuff, and hence us making an album that's dropping in May. So yeah,
All right.
cool stuff.
Wicked on fire and that. We're gonna come back to that album.
Okay.
But now first we got to let people know about Laid Blak, basically. When did this all started out and things like that? But before we go there, I want you guys I know that's Bungie and Joepeng, and well, everybody from, especially if you're in Bristol, know who you guys are. But for those people who don't know who you guys are, literally, I want to say, where exactly are you from? Let me start with Joepeng, because I can see Joepeng is wondering where he's from, and I want him to tell people.
Where I'm from?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What?
I mean, I'm talking about county, village, street. I'm not.
Where I was
you can
born?
live at the street.
Where I was born?
Yeah.
I'm a gypsy boy. I'm Romany gypsy. I was born in a caravan in Cornwall, Red Roof.
Oh, Red Roof.
And then my mum migrated to Bristol. And I've been here since. I've been solidly here since I was about 14. So Bristol, me from.
Okay.
Eastern, BS5.
All right. So basically, I'm not gonna leave it there though, because since you said you came to Bristol when you was 14, that means you went to school a bit in Cornwall as well then.
No. I came from Bristol when I was 2. I left Cornwall when I was 2. But I also had a very turbulent upbringing. So there was a lot of traveling back and forth. I settled in Bristol when I was 14. But between the age of 2 and 14, I was up and down the motorway. A year here, a year there, a year here, 2 years there.
Yeah.
The traveler blood, you know?
I think before I go to Boundary, I just needed to emphasize on that a little bit, because you said you got a turbulent upbringing, and I'm checking to see if it's what make you into a rude boy, rebel MC, or what are you referring to?
This definitely had an influence. I come from a domestic violent place.
Okay.
A place where alcohol was there, emotionally kind of illiterate. Still got enough love, so I'm not even knocking that, but I learned a few things at a very early age. So yeah, it definitely has had an impact on my character.
Okay.
My all-round charisma.
Yeah. Are you from a big family though?
Yeah, my mom's from a family of 13.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from a family of 9.
Your mom had 9 kids? Your mom had 9 kids?
No, my mom had 5, and there's another 5 on my dad's side.
But that's 10.
I know, I couldn't count. Sorry. I told you I'm a gypsy. What do you want?
That's all right, bro. Come on. We're not going to say you can't count because you're a gypsy. There's a lot of really intelligent gypsies. So,
yeah, right here.
All right. Yeah.
I forgot the ugly one. That's all.
Okay. Why you pointing at Banjo when you say that? Anyway, all right. So, Banjo, let's talk about you now. Where are you from?
Me, born and raised in Easton till I was 7.
PS5.
PS5 Chelsea Road. And then my mum and my father. Well, my mum decided she wanted to move to Noel, where my gran and granddad lived, just off Kildare Road.
Yeah.
My gran and granddad lived on Broadberry Road, which is bang in the heart of Noel. So I was one of the few boys of color, mixed race or black or of color of any sorts in Noel at that time as a young boy. So it was kind of moving from a cosmopolitan Eastern, which was all love, to them being...
Really? That's because he come from the nice side, Chelsea Road. I lived across the border in my Eastern. It was cosmopolitan, but trust me, man had to earn their stripes. It ain't like what you say, all love and all pretty and nice. No.
Yeah, but I was only there till I was 7. So you know, you went on to your teenage years. Totally different.
He wasn't. Maybe it was nice for Banjo because at 7 he wouldn't be allowed out in the street to see what was going on there.
And moving up to Noel was a culture shock because there was no people of color. You know, my mum used to get racist for having black kids, let alone the racism I used to get. So, you know, it was. If I'm honest, it was petrifying. I was a little soft boy, you know, never had a fight in my life, to then literally fighting every single week. You know, like and not wanting to, but soon becoming, you know, like. You know, I was quicker to be throwing fists myself if someone called me something. And then you know, the younger times as a kid, you know, I'll go home and say to my mum or my dad, and I might even be bawling as a youth, and my dad would be like, "Oh, what did get up there and mash up there," you know, and like literally. So I had to do as my dad said: go out there and rock them up. Don't be coming in bawling, because you know you're a boy up here. You gotta defend yourself.
Old school boy.
You know, and also I got a younger sister and brother, so it wasn't just on me. I had to kind of like look out for them. And as I say, you know,
Noel West was like one big gypsy site.
Okay.
That's the mentality kind of thing up there. And then if you know West is like, I'm not knocking anything. I'm just talking about the community vibe.
Yeah.
And the class of living.
Yes.
Man now has kind of earned their P's, and there's some nice houses. People been education's different up there now, blah blah. But back in the day, straight, it was like the working class man.
Yeah.
And the kids then was allowed to run a road. And you know what happens when idle hands does the devil's work, as they say.
That's true. That's very true. That's a really good insight into Noel West, though, because I've obviously heard a lot of story about, like, you know, sometime I've heard that even to this day is not very completely welcoming to people from outside that is not from there.
Yeah.
So if people is saying that now, I don't know if this is true because I've never lived there, but if people is saying that now where people are more liberal, then I could only imagine that in those days it probably would have been a lot worse than it is currently.
Yeah, it was heavy.
Yeah. Even in, say, the black and the, you know, the mixed areas, you mentioned Noel, and people were like, "What, you live up there?" You know, like my black.
It's kind of area where man kick off your door still, even up to now. You know what I mean? It's that everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody's business, and you still got certain families that kind of run things up there.
Yeah,
nothing ain't really changed.
Yeah. I mean, luckily
obviously
for me,
there's a lot.
I go up there, I've never really had to see anything whenever I go up there. So thankfully, hopefully, as we continue to progress in the world and trying to create more unity and more oneness despite of color or whatever, all of these things will be a thing of the past before we know it. You know what I mean? So
you know, your smile gets you through most things anyway.
Well, I go up there and if I smile, then they know that I'm no threat.
There's shine tea and it's like free ride.
They know I'm no threat to people. Always know I'm no threat to them because look, I'm a peaceful man. I'm a peacemaker. I'm no gangster. I've never really show people that I'm that because I'm not. So if somebody got a problem with me, then the problem is them because actually I don't care who you are. I'm always showing love. and that's just the way I am, you know what I mean? So maybe
So,
that also helped me to get through into many places. You know, I've been to many places.
I think so.
People.
Never change that, blood.
No, man, I got no intention to.
blessing.
I already live like this for 40 years now, so it's a bit pointless doing it for the next, you know what I mean? But, so anyway, let's talk about Laid Blak. When did Laid Blak first started?
Well,
Can I just say, Laid Blak first? Yeah, okay. I was going to correct your grammar, but it was on point, so I take it back.
Joepeng, around with me now.
Here we go.
So I'll tell you first. I the name Laid Blak, if I understand or remember rightly, it was because Joepeng is always late. Is that right?
Thank you, sir. Yes. Yeah, Joe. We could say like today, right?
I mean, he lived up to that today. Some kind of like
he lived up to that.
He came late today to just remind me that the name Laid Blak was because of him and being late.
He's getting you back.
I mean, he did it right on his point today as well. So I'm kind of feeling
and
like
shining the team.
Maybe that was like a deliberate ploy to actually remind you. It's like a reminder.
Yeah. So you're right there. It was just a slip of words. Me and Joe had a studio session, like in the early days. And I was vexed because he come in and he's just late. And I was like, oh man, Joe, you're just too late. You're always late, man. You're always just Laid Blak, man. And then he just rewound what I said. He was like, Laid Blak? Like literally made a joke out of it. And we both started laughing and we looked at each other and it's like, that sounds sick, actually. He's like, that's why I rewound it. So we kind of that just sat there for a period of time. But we both never forgot about it. Yeah. Made our music, and we were doing, like jungle stuff, and we had all the rave and jungle stuff at the time. But we had an emphasis of making and creating like slower and like other genres of music, and hence Laid Blak being created, and coming forth.
That's a good point actually about the jungle and things like that, because like quite a few times when the name Joepeng comes up, people said that they know him from back in the days as a jungle MC.
Yeah, I was the jungle MC. Let's get it straight.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I heard that you were like a very credible jungle MC, like literally mashing up the place for like a long time.
Yeah, I used to leave my house on a Thursday and come back on a Monday or something. Like every weekend was just up and down the country, constant, and that was for a few years.
Were you just doing MCing for a living?
Yeah, no, I'm a youth worker as well.
Yeah.
Youth worker by day.
Yeah, and
then MC by night.
That's good. That's a good thing, bro. Like literally, I look like we live in a similar life, but we live in a similar life. Yeah. So that. Definitely. But then, when you guys first get together, were you doing like a DJ MCing thing? Because I think that the band itself wasn't together at that point.
Yeah, you said it right. We were doing a DJ MC thing. I had a flat in Bristol and I moved to London because I got a publishing deal and I was doing all kinds of genres of music for Warner Brothers at the time. And Joe came to London a few times to Warner studio and recorded our music. And then he had these other songs and he was like, Bunch, give me a beat for this, give me a beat for that. Oh, da-da-da-da. And and it was all slower stuff. It wasn't kind of the up tempo, the jungle, the rave, or the dance music. We were kind of, we were doing, Joe was doing in his own right, Also, we kind of decided we wanted to
basically got fed up of playing everyone else's music all the time. Me personally.
Yeah.
So once I found out my man was kind of heavy on the production kind of thing, it was just a natural, organic kind of relationship that kind of started. Yeah. Started in the studio with just me and him. Then we got the guitarist. Then we got Felix, another vocalist, and then bam, 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 bam. Before you know it, we had a 7-piece band.
Yeah, because so basically, but Warner Brothers is like a major record label. So were you signed to Warner Brothers?
I was signed to Warner Brothers, yeah. because I was working with Sony. I had like 5 or 6 of my own record labels, independent record labels at the time. And yeah, I basically got I could afford to live in London, so I moved to London for like two odd years.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah, for real.
Yeah, but do you find like back in what time was this? Because how long ago was that first?
This was like the late 90s in 98, 99, 2000.
Yeah. Okay, because what I want to ask you, back in the like late 90s, early 2000, do you think that it was easier to actually get like a good record deal from a major label than it is today?
I would say it's no different, but what they were doing, you were getting, there was money to be got, you know what I mean? As for now, there ain't no money. They're not giving anything or unless you got 1 million followers of this.
It's governed by different rules now. Back then, it was governed by the music that you took to their office that they listened to and word of mouth. Now you have to have 50 million viewers. You have to have this. You have to have that. Sometimes it ain't even about the music. It's about the social media.
Social media presence. But I think to be fair, like from a record label point of view, and you guys probably will agree with this as well, back in those days, if a artist released a song, somebody got to go and buy it on a CD to have it.
Yeah.
Where now, if you release a song today, even if you're a global superstar, one person could buy that song and make that song available for the rest of the world to listen to for free and to download for free. So I suppose a record label, it's become risky business for a record label to just throw lots of money in where they can't control where the song go anymore.
For real.
Yeah. There's all them aspects. Obviously, that kind of started when CDs kind of started getting duplicated, and and then you could take it back to the hip hop times of samples and the breaks. It's happened in every sort of era, one way or another. You know what I mean? Yeah. There was a time when you could sample anything and recreate your own track, and you were allowed to use it. And then all of a sudden, I think like Paid in Full with Rakim on it, Cold Cuts were the artists at the time. They sampled this, sampled that. Then the next thing they got sued, and then it changed from then. That anybody using a sample had to pay the artist that they sampled from. So if it was James Brown, he had to be getting paid. You know what I mean? And then you might be getting a small percentage of something you produce, but of course you borrowed and sampled his music, and then a rapper on top of it or something.
I suppose it's justifiable and makes sense, because if you think about being a creator or a producer or an artist, if you make and spend, so you would understand how long it take you to put together a beat, and then if somebody come and sample your beat, use some of it and making a whole lot more money out of it more than you who actually did the creation in the first place, you can see how that is gonna make you tick you off a little bit.
Well, there's been whole scenes where that's happened, like the Amen break, let's say, for instance, the drummer that played the Amen break, which is on, like, you might as well say 70% of all jungle and rave records out there. So there's millions and millions and millions. And this brother has, he literally was on his dying deathbed like a few years ago. And then producers and artists and DJs and anybody that had used this stuff didn't know that this brother wasn't wealthy. He didn't have no money for an operation, if I'm saying it correctly. And basically there was a pool of money put together by people like us who basically goes, oh my gosh, I've used him on like 5 of my tracks over the years. I'll put a tenner in, you know what I mean? And that this money went to him. And then like literally, I think he had an operation and then lived a year or two, and then he sadly passed. But he went throughout all his whole career, and he didn't make a lot of money, like and his music, his drum beat is on like at least millions and millions of tracks, and I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah, so you see, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So you're right. Yeah,
creator You know, so for him to watch people making millions and then he got to be looking donation for his operation, you can only imagine how, how sad that must be, you know, knowing that it was you who created that. You know, I mean, that thing is still going on right now. I think like Max Romeo's song is one of them songs that been sampled so much that, what's it called? Iron Shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, so let's go back into Laid Blak anyway. I interviewed Tanya Lacey the other day and she speaks so highly of Laid Blak, you know what I mean? And so, but obviously I know you guys from a long time. I know you guys are really, really good, you know what I mean? I've been lucky to, you know, share stage with you guys a couple of times as well. But there's something that I must ask you because I have heard this like so many times that allegedly, and I'm going to use the word allegedly until you guys confirm this, whether this is true or not, that Ed Sheeran, which is like a global superstar, used to be a support act for Laid Blak. I want you to tell me if this is true or not.
True. 100% true.
So the Ed Sheeran that is winning all these awards used to support Laid Blak.
Yes.
We played at an event in Soho,
London,
in front of the industry. And in the first ever strip bar, apparently. First ever pole dancing club.
Yeah.
In Soho.
Mm-hmm.
And we done our thing. And then this little white guy comes out with just a guitar and a loop pedal.
Yeah.
And I said, as soon as I heard, I'm saying to Bungie, because Bungie was putting on nights then.
Yeah.
In the Croft, all over Bristol, Bungie used to put on nights.
Yeah.
And I'm straight away, I'm saying to Bungie, we need to bring this guy to Bristol. Yeah. He must have come to Bristol 5 or 6 times to play for us.
Yeah.
To play for him.
Well, for us.
Before next thing you know, we can't even get him on the phone. Where he just gone.
Then he just appears on the radio and TV.
Well, yeah. Basically, he went. We brought him to Bristol a handful of times, as Joe said.
Yeah.
He, in between this time, over the say 2 or 3 years from the first performance in Soho to him, the last performance of us bringing him to Bristol, he covered Red, and he'd been covering Red, and he was a bit tentative because he was a fan of the band. Even when he at Soho, when he performed, he was our support.
Yeah.
He already learned and knew the lyrics to Red, but was too scared to say, just in case we weren't feeling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as we became friends over the months and then the years, he then said to me, he's like, Bunch, yeah, I've covered Red, but I don't know if you're going to be feeling like a spotty red-haired lad. He was busting joke, like covering it. And I was like, man, let me hear you. And he just pulled out his guitar, ping, ping. I was like, that is sick. You know what I mean? I goes, Joe and Felix, the band, the guys are going to love this, man. You know what I mean? And then I didn't say nothing. And then we were doing a gig at the Croft. Yeah. And then we were on last. But I knew, I said, and Ed was like, I can't perform Red with you guys, you know, like, you're going to be performing it later. I was like, nah, you got to perform it. I want you to show Joe and the rest. And then basically it was all love, you know what I mean? So, he performed it and the guys, we all loved it and the crowd loved it. And it was something he'd been doing up and down and around the country. So, like, for, you know, hundreds and hundreds of gigs.
Can I go as far as saying that on a Ed Sheeran beginning, that's the song for him.
Yeah.
That's the song that bust him.
Laid Blak
on an urban level. Because he tried to take it, the label, and again, they can come and tell me if I'm wrong, but the label tried to get him to take it off the end of his song, off of his social media, and the crowd, his fans, went into uproar where he had to put it back.
Okay. So he put it on his social media.
Yeah, that's the song. That's if you go on his YouTube or whatever, his early stuff, you'll see him sing. That's the song.
Okay.
That's the song that won him.
So what since he became famous and started hitting the chart big, have you guys ever heard from him at all or no?
Well, yeah, he invited us he came to Bristol. Well, we went on tour with him. So if I complete the story, we went on tour with him. We went on tour with him.
When?
To Birmingham. We done the Bristol, the Ansem Rooms.
We done 2 gigs.
Wow, that was a tour. We were part of his tour.
Me and him, this is where me and him, it's like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. He's Martin Luther King. and Malcolm X on this one, so I'm gonna let him speak.
Okay, all right. So, all right, Bunji.
Yeah, we were part of his tour. But anyway, so we done a few gigs with him, and it ended in Bristol at the Answer Rooms. And and he was fundamentally wanted us on more gigs with him, but his management, hence what Joe was saying about the Red tune and it getting taken off all his media at the time, because obviously the content of Red is about burning spliff. You know what I mean? Where I come from is a storyboard, is Joe's words, obviously a storyboard on where I come from, i.e. of how we live or where we come from, say no more. But you know, he basically absolutely loved that. Even when he went to America, Jamie Foxx, you know, Jamie Foxx, out of all the music that he was doing, that's the song. Jamie Foxx, boy, this young white lad, like, he was performing in a jazz bar somewhere in LA. Jamie Foxx seen him, didn't know him from Adam. Was like, oh my gosh, like this lad's good. Then he busts Miles Are Red, chatting about ganja. Then Jamie Foxx just went ballistic. Grab him off stage, come and sit with me. You'll come into my yard. Ed slept on his sofa, basically. Then Jamie Foxx basically brought him on TV, brought him on his radio show at the time, and everything. And it was that tune. And then is all, you know, Ed's whole world, from when you lick over there, and then a wave is coming from America to the UK, is people didn't, you know, they just basically took it.
But has he come back to us? No.
So since
simple.
So since all of those, he has become like one of the biggest selling and most famous reggae artists. Not reggae artists, but artists of all time.
Artists. Yeah.
He forgotten. I mean, I spoke to his cousin before as well, which you probably know, and he was telling me a story about the first song that was released. That one of the rap in there, his song is as well. But let's not get into that because we don't know exactly the story.
That's fact. That's fact. That's 100% fact.
Yeah.
I was privy to them early days because Jeffro, a Lone Star, was living in London, and we invited him, and it was a similar sort of time as when Joe used to come to London as well, and Jeffro was living in London before me, and he's good friends with Hollis, who we were in Warner Studio at the time, and he'd always invite Jeffro. So that's how I got to know Jeffro. And I can remember, you know, I heard them songs on DAT tapes. And then years later again, coming out of Ed's mouth. And I was like, I've heard that before. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that verse. I know them words. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
okay. Well, I mean, despite it kind of went that way, and sometimes people, you know, I don't want to call him ungrateful, but hey, Ed Sheeran, you're a global superstar, and you can't just forget the people who was there that when nobody knows you. It's not a very good look for you, I'm afraid. I'm a very big fan of Ed Sheeran, by the way, and I'm sure you guys are.
We all are.
I'm sure you guys are as well. But it is just so nice that if you know, when somebody that you show love and support to, despite of fame and money, that they remember that. You remember those couple of guys that I used to hang out with? I mean, it'd be really nice. So, I mean, Jeffro is still in good contact with Ed Sheeran, so you can actually watch this and then tell Ed Sheeran, look, you need to come and link them mans. Remember, it's them mans you used to hang with. But, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, so Jeffro can make it happen.
Yeah, and also he recorded Red. It was an MTV, was it an MTV award, recorded, a live recorded, something that is now even still on iTunes, and the Red section is still in his medley of the track. So it is, you know, that's something else again.
So, I take it you guys are getting royalties for that.
Yes. Yeah. What they say? What they say on telly? My solicitors have advised me not to say anything more on that subject.
Well, I mean, like, obviously.
Fifth Amendment. No.
Okay. Well, I just want to make clear that when you guys collect, I would still like a drink out of it.
Yeah.
Tell your solicitor that you got somebody who is waiting for a beer, and we'll talk about it off camera. So, anyway, let's go back now to Laid Blak and making their first hit songs? Because the first time I see Laid Blak, was on MTV. I'm sure it was a song called Honey Bunny or something. I'm pretty sure it was Telly I see you guys on. Which song was your guy? Which song was your breakthrough song that like literally?
Our breakthrough song and first song was "Scream and Shout," which was on a 4/4 house sort of V garage track, and it was Tune of the Week on One Extra.
It was #1 in the Groundbreakers chart, 2 and 4 and 2 other charts.
All over New York, America. It was in the Times, the New York Times, in the top 10.
What?
Yeah, for real.
So whenever you get a critique, Fuchaman, the critic said, what did he say? Basically, he said it was the lyric for him, the lyrical moment of the year. Some New York critic magazine, music magazine.
New York Times.
New York Times.
Yeah, New York Times.
I need that in my life.
Why wow. Got everything?
That's incredible, bro. That's incredible. Yeah. That's incredible.
So that was the, something that kind of like, well, it was the first thing that we released, but it wasn't the first sort of tempo or vibe or
this is why the Laid Blak song name is so relevant and powerful. It started because of my laziness, but we put out that song. We get all that feedback. It goes to #1, #2, and #4 in 3 different charts. Yeah. And we don't put nothing else out. We don't follow it. And we never followed it. And don't come back at me because it's true. Didn't follow it. That's what makes us Laid Blak. The second album's called About Time.
Okay.
But there's a whole story.
How long was the gap in between?
Yeah, but there's a whole story. But we basically was trying to get a record deal. And this is where we met Tricky and Chris. Some years later, may I add, not exactly at the time. And also we had a contract with Moist Records for that first release, Scream and Shout. So they wanted everything Laid Blak. And I was like, nah, we're like enough love, but our flavors wouldn't even house or garage. We went, it was totally what is Laid Blak now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're all music. We always have been multi-genre, which actually makes it harder in this world because a lot of people, they want to label you this, label you that. And I'm certainly not that, and I'm not going to talk for Joe. You know what I mean?
But when we played, we won the best reggae band in the UK competition, and then we won the best band in the Northern Europe, and then we had to go to Barcelona for the finals. Yeah. Now I did an interview after the show on a Lithuanian radio, and the guy says to me, "Oh, your music is how I say, very peculiar." I say, "It's up and down, and I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly how we want it." Yeah. But in a reggae contest where every band was like standard format, percussion, brass, UB40, Bob Marley, just a normal reggae band. Yes. We were like oddballs. One minute we're playing dubstep, then we're playing some hard reggae, then we're going in a little funk. You know what I mean? We're Laid Blak is just like, when you come and listen to Laid Blak, you already know it's a journey. Yeah, man. I know. Well, like I said, I've been lucky enough to catch you guys like a few times, and you know what I mean. We know it's like
and you performed the Christmas something as well. Remember? Come and terrorize it.
Come steal the show.
Fuchaman, come and terrorize the stage.
I was like, well, you know what I mean? Like, put the mic in my hand and then I forget about the rest of the world. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I think the first time I've been on stage with you guys was at Motion.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. The Christmas. Yeah. And that's why we redid the track, Fatal Attractions, to facilitate we could hear your energy on that track and you come and terrorize that as well. That was amazing. Actually, that was a really nice.
If you ain't got love, then you ain't got nothing. Ain't got love, then you don't have nothing.
Yeah.
But too, bro, it was heavy though. I tell you, when I first say that first time when I come on stage with you guys there, I was blown away by the fact that you guys like when it was mixing, the band was mixing is like a proper band from Jamaica was mixing. I haven't heard that then in England before. So it was just feel like it was like feel so organic, like I was like a proper Jamaican reggae band, the mix was like, because the mix is a very important thing. And
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
I was mixing, when I say mix, I feel like I want him to keep mixing, and I'm going all
Have you ever
night.
been in the studio with him?
I've been in the studio about twice, I think.
Well, you're a man who come prepared. We see in the studio, if I take you in the other room now where the band's getting ready for rehearsals, and you hear how this Taskmaster run things, he don't let nothing get to the stage unless it's been rehearsed like Tiger Woods rehearsed playing golf. Trust me. So when a man making them, and the mix is like the on point thing, because if you mess up the mix, you mess up the MC's flow, you mess up. So there ain't nothing going on our stage that ain't been like gone through 1,000 times. This guy's like
Arsene Wenger,
like a slave master.
I suppose it's one of the joy of having like a producer who actually understand music, controlling that kind of thing.
To a point.
Because he know exactly what he's looking for and what it's supposed to sound like. So
to a point.
Yeah. Where's it to a point?
OCD, innit?
Yeah,
I don't want to let nothing go. It's like,
I mean, perfection is
ready.
better than slacking. It's better than slacking.
Not ready. That's not ready. We're not taking that to the stage.
So when it comes to the production thing.
Yeah, man. I know, man. I know. That's some clean work.
Yeah, man.
So Bunji produced all of Laid Blak tunes.
Every one of them. With help. Him and his right-hand man, Chris Decchio.
Yeah, I got myself and Chris Decchio, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've met him last year in
Rhythm Punks and Dr. Mika.
I think I met him in Montpellier with Dr. Mika.
Yes.
Silent Assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So basically, hits after hits, smashing up radio, TV, world know the band, touring, traveling, doing all kind of things. But you guys now also got a brand new album coming out.
Two
albums.
We've got one coming out in May.
Yeah.
Followed closely by the next one, July, August, maybe.
All right. Let's take it step by step on this, because from what I heard earlier, you had an album and then there wasn't another one for like until about 3 years ago called About Time.
That not work again.
So but after that now all of a sudden you got two more coming out. Like,
listen, the thing is, the back catalogue has got about 60 tunes in there.
Yeah.
That no one ain't ever heard.
Okay.
So
easily.
If man wanted to go in on those, we could push out three albums now.
Okay, see.
But what we've done, we've chosen our favorites from the back catalogue for the first one, which is called From the Vaults.
Yeah.
And now we're 7 songs in on the album to follow that.
Okay, well that's good.
But brand new stuff.
Brand new
2022. Brand new
but listen, music is brand new if you've never heard it before.
Yeah,
even from our votes.
Yeah. Well,
man ain't heard them tunes.
I'll just hang around and wait to hear which track I'm featuring on.
Trust me, you know that's gonna happen.
Right.
But so anyway, let's talk about this album, the first one that's coming out in May though. What is it called?
From the Vaults.
It's called From the Vaults. And how much track is in it?
11 tracks.
Yeah.
You might get a bonus one with you on it.
All right.
Refix.
Good to go when you're ready. So what is the album? What message or what can people expect from the album? What's the album represent? Is it more dancehall, roots and culture? What is it? Tell me about the album.
No, the album represents the essence of Laid Blak.
Okay.
It's all the original. The original musicians, Tanya Lacey, James Barlow, our lead guitarist,
Lupo,
Richie,
Trevor.
So it's Trevor, all the original artists.
Yeah.
It's all the original songs that have just been revamped, remastered.
Yeah.
And it's like our favorites from that kind of 40, 50 tunes.
And that have never been released.
Never been released.
Wow. So yeah.
That is really good.
With some latter tunes with Tim and Soul on, and Stacy, like track like Golden, for instance, you know what I mean? So
basically, again, it's all about Laid Blak's journey. That's what albums are.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. So what's it? Actually, I want to. Can you? Which one are you gonna name the people who are in the band that and what they do? Because they're not with us right now here. So can you tell?
I got my
give me the
right
name of
hand
the
girl,
people in the band?
Rachel. My right hand girl, Sister Ray Ray.
Yeah.
Female vocals, the fattest vocals in Bristol right now, without a doubt. Then we got.
We won't talk about that, but we both know where the best female vocalist is in the country.
The new drummer, Gabo.
Oh, you got a new drummer.
Yeah, Scotty, guitar.
Ben,
bass. Young Russ, keys. And we got Jaxie who plays cello.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay. Yeah, man, big up. So I know most of the guys them, and also Ray Ray as well. So big up to Ray Ray and yeah, my brethren Young Russ. And also Tracy.
Who Tracy?
Stacy.
Stacy.
Why love Stacy?
Yeah. You know what though? I can't really believe I'm gonna say this because Stacy probably won't be able. Huh?
Have you got him in your band now?
Who's Stacy?
Don't try teeth out my drummers in a star.
No, man. No. I don't know who the drummer is. Like, I'm pretty sure I know him, but I can't remember who he is. But my drummer is
your drummer.
Ed. Ed is still my drummer.
Oh, Ed. You can't remember who he is?
No. I was saying, I'm talking about Stacy. Stacy. You know, for the longest time, I don't know why this, and Stacy's probably going to hate me for this, but for the longest time, I know Stacy since I met him all them times. Absolutely amazing guy, but I thought he was Scottish. I don't know why.
What the?
I don't know why.
That's Scotty. Huh? Our guitar player, Scotty.
Scotty.
He's Scottish with the long hair.
The white guy with long hair.
No, that's Scotty.
That's Scotty.
Yeah, that's it.
And he's
Scottish. He is Scottish.
Oh, he's Scottish.
He's up in Glasgow now.
Yeah.
Oh, so I was right.
Yeah.
I mixed them up because I was saying to somebody mentioned Stacy one day, and I'm like, he's Scottish, isn't it? And they're like, no, he's from Bristol. I'm like, no, man, that man is from Scotland.
Yeah, come on, Scotty.
So it was my bad. Sorry, Scotty.
Yeah, he'd be loving that.
Scotty's a hard Glaswegian boy.
Okay, so that's my bad then. So basically, we got new album coming out featuring a lot of wicked artists and singers and musicians and things like that. What else can people look out for from Laid Blak?
Well, as Joe said, we're working, and then we're now, even today, rehearsing and working on the new material for the album thereafter that.
Yeah. So the gig list has grown as well now. So you're gonna catch us at a few festivals. We're at the Comedia Club in Bath soon. We're at the Godney Festival, Seasider Festival. We got a few gig lists like that. You just go online and find where we are.
Yeah, we've got a world of dates, to be fair. Considering the lockdown, we've come out of it, and the dates we had as we went into lockdown, and like everybody, their whole year calendar. You know, we haven't stopped for 6, 7, 8 years, non-stop, relentless. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He said earlier about DJing and MCing of what we used to do. Well, we've transferred that is the band now, as well as Joe MCs here, there, and everywhere.
And we got the radio
and
show.
And I DJ. And and we got a radio
Pinky and Perky show every Wednesday, every fortnightly Wednesday, 5 to 7, 103.7 Sue FM, baby.
All right.
And you're doing your own podcast, right?
My own podcast. We come test this one here.
Yeah, you have to get Fuchaman on there.
Yeah. Well, you know, Reggae of Yourself is. I'm quite pleased that you did a podcast, but we all know that Reggae of Yourself didn't get to #1 on iTunes without being the best. I'm not knocking on Joe, but
Peng's House is coming, Fuchaman.
Sorry, what's the name of your podcast, by the way?
Peng's House.
Peng's House.
Peng's House.
Oh, Peng's House. Actually, Peng's House podcast, people. All right. But actually, Joe, we're not gonna let you get away with this so easy and leave. Now we have come to the understanding that Mr. Joepeng is now a granddaddy. Hello, Grandpa.
Oi.
How are you?
×2, Bridge.
Times 2? Oh,
Times
yeah.
2.
Of course, that's true, isn't it?
I got 8-year-old.
Yeah, I didn't want to point
I
that
got
out.
8-year-old. I got 8-year-old grandchild and a 1-year-old.
All right, so Grandpa.
Brothers, listen. I told you about my upbringing. Yeah, I was taught things early.
All right, sir. All right.
So me start early.
All right, sir. All right. I'm not gonna judge you.
You can't. You judge me.
Oh, Lord.
Every judge is a sinner, and I can't afford to sin. So
And I know you live in a glass house, Bridget.
No. All right. So basically, I want to thank you guys like so much for like joining me on the Reggae Up Yourself podcast again. But is there a message that you guys would like to send out to the people of Reggae Up Yourself podcast and also to Laid Blak fans?
I'm sending out to the Reggae Up. Listen, Fuchaman, hard working, nothing but love, the brightest smile in Bristol. So anytime you get a chance to support that brother here, support him. Fuchaman, we got you. Anytime you need us for anything.
Thank you.
Anytime you need me to come and get on one of your tracks, much as you always coming and getting on mine, or me coming on your stage, I got you. Nothing but love for you, brother. Trust me.
Thank you.
Bristol love. One and all.
That's it.
Peace and love.
Thank you so much. And please do remember that when you guys receive that big check that's coming through from Red, just remember you did say I can come and check you anytime.
I'll tell you the first thing I'm going to buy you.
Yeah.
A new hat.
What are you talking about? I'm wearing the hat with the Jamaican flag, which is like the greatest flag in the world, brother.
Right.
I think you two should have a podcast together, call it Bants FM.
We're gonna link up. We're gonna link up and
link
do
up,
something, you know.
link up. Yeah.
Yeah, man, we're gonna link up and do that for true. That I reckon that would be wicked.
That'd be funny.
Would be amazing. Yeah, man.
Special.
Yeah, man. Well, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck with everything, man. I look forward to catch you guys soon, all right?
Yeah, man. Keep your head up high.
Always, brother. Blessings.
Bless up.
Blessings.